All right, Shalom Yasharala. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. So Brother Shawab, I'm back at you with another lesson. And what I want to go into real quick, all right, according to the title, all right, is paid off to blame the ministry. All right. And I'm going to show you a quick video that was posted earlier on Instagram. All right. Which I thought it was actually an older video, but the date on it says 10/18, I think. So it was recently. Okay. But I very well believe, oh, they kicked me out of Instagram. Hold on. That's wild. And basically, like I was saying, the way I looked at this video, it felt through the spirit like it like the brother had put even on his on the caption, okay, that oh man, they really kicked me out of Instagram. Oh no, I got it back. All right, so this is the video. Let me grab the video. All right. It says MAGA bully versus Black Hebrew Israelite. All right, and of course, it would only be your favorite, Mr. Deacon. Okay, Mr. Deacon from Sakari. All right, and this is why I feel through the spirit. Even the brother put it, which is from Watchman for Yasharala on Instagram. It says something is off about this. Wearing fringes and fighting Edomites can easily get the brothers in the ministry blamed, and that's very well so. All right, that and as soon as I seen the video myself, okay, I thought the same exact thing. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Barakatah Malak. All right, I seen the same exact thing. I felt the same exact way when I seen it, because when you look at it, all right, the fact that you see the two Edomites looking at Deacon, I forgot his name. I think it's Deacon Hakah, some shit like that. I could care less. All right, at the end of the day, but I know he's the deacon for Sakari. All right, it just looked like it was so fake. Like he didn't even look like he really punched him like that. Like if it was set up, and that's why I believe through the spirit he probably was paid off to do that, because we know that most of these Hebrew Israelite camps, all right, not that are teaching madness, you know, they're pretty much causing division among the people. You know, we know a lot of them are paid off through the serpent, man, to do these things. That's why they walk around with, you know, guns in their camps. You know, that's why they run around with money in their pocket. You know, and if they were really men of the Lord, Esau would be trying to, you know, find ways to you know, incarcerate these people. But you always just see them doing wickedness, and they just keep moving around, moving around society like nothing happened, you know. And when you see things like that, it's because Esau pays them off, all right, and you know he makes it look bad for the Hebrew Israelites at the end of the day. Okay, so let me just show you the video real quick, and you guys could put it together yourself. Hold on, let me take the damn fucking sound off. I do not own the rights to that song, because they'll fucking... Again, look, he barely hit him. Okay. Now the other guy's standing next to this guy. He got his hands behind his back. He steps up to his face and he says something in his ear. And then Deacon just starts swinging, which horrible swinging. All right. And then the other guy that's next to the other Edomite that gets punched, he not even doing nothing. Then if you look at down here, this guy got his whole back turned like nothing, you know? That's why I feel through the spirit it was just all set up to make the ministry look bad. All right. None of these people are straight jokes, man. And you have to remember that we have the great persecution coming. All right. So they're gonna try to make us look as bad as we can. All right, in the sight of men. All right. And here it is that the true men of the Lord are out there 24/7 busting their ass, bringing out this word, just straight speaking scriptures, you see? And we don't affiliate ourselves with things like that. As the scriptures say, let's grab that real quick. All right. Our weapons of warfare are not carnal. Okay. Now, don't get it twisted. You pull up on us the wrong way. Absolutely, we are allowed to defend ourselves. We're not looking to take it to the next level, because we have to keep character. At the end of the day, we have to literally walk a certain way amongst these people, so we are blameless. We can't give Esau the fuel in the fire to be able to point the finger and say, look at these niggas, you see, these are supposed to be Hebrew Israelite men with the Bible, and they out there doing this and doing that, you see. So we do have to walk in a certain manner, but if best believe, if you step up to any brother's face, all right, we are allowed to defend ourselves. The men of the Lord, the prophets were men of valor, were men that were ready to fight for the Lord, basically. At the end of the day, this is Romans. The brother got up, Azan. All right, this is Romans 13:13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wanton, not in strife and envying. You see? So we have a certain character to walk in. You see, we have to walk in a certain manner. So we're not about to, let's grab that scripture. All right, let me grab this one first. This is 2 Corinthians 10:4. It says, for the weapons, let me grab it up a little bit. I'll take it from 1. It says 2 Corinthians 10:1. It says, I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness. You see, we come in meekness. We're coming in gentleness. All right, like Yahushua did. If Yahushua really wanted to, because he was a whole austere man. If he really wanted to, he could have whooped some ass if he wanted to. All right, but he didn't, because he whooped that ass with the words of Yahweh. You see, and that's how we come. All right, we'll give you a spiritual ass whooping before we give you that physical ass whooping. All right, it says, who who in the presence and based among you, but being absent and bold toward you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. You see, let's read that in the NLT. It says, I, Paul, appeal to you with gentleness and kindness of Hamashiach, though I realize you think I am timid in person and bold only when I write from far away. Well, I am begging you now, so that when I come, I won't have to be bold with those who think we act from human motives. Okay. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. NLT, we are human, but we don't wage war as humans do. Okay. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You see, and these devils, you'll see them always walking around with straight nonsense of guns in the camps. Like, that's not a man of the Lord. Scriptures say not to trust in your bow. Okay. All right. The Lord was not walking around with swords and knives and pistols, man. You see? As a matter of fact, let me grab this real quick. This is in Maccabees, right? Second Maccabees 15, I believe it is. Oh no, you know what? It's First Maccabees 15. This is First Maccabees 15, and where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Give me 1 second. Did I pass it? First Maccabees, maybe 16. Let me bring out what the brother got too. This is Titus 1 and 7. It says, for a bishop must be blameless as the steward of Yahweh, not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine nor striker, not given to filthy lucre. You see? So the point is that we're supposed to be blameless at the end of the day. Okay? Here it is. This is a top guy in that tribe. All right? You should be in that spirit of being blameless, man. Okay? Man, where's that scripture I'm looking for? It's in the Maccabees too, for sure. All right, might have passed it. Oh, here it goes. Second Maccabees 15. Wada Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And I'll just take it right from 7. I was looking down too much. That's why. Second Maccabees 15 and 7. It says, but Maccabeus had ever sure confidence. Okay, we're gonna always have sure confidence what we do, man, that the Lord Yahweh Shai would help him. See, in a situation like this, all right, we're not looking to be carnal, man. The first thing we're going to be doing in our minds is pretty much praying to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to get us out of that situation. All right. And if, you know, the Lord puts the spirit on us to whoop someone's ass, hey, man, it's pretty much coming up the Lord, coming up the spirit, you know. But it says, wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them in the mind of the battles they had won aforetime, he made them more cheerful. Okay. And when he had stirred up their minds, he gave them their charge, showing them therewithal the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oaths. All right. This is the point. Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with the fence of shields and spears, weapons. Okay. Because our weapons of warfare are not carnal. Right. As with comfortable and good words. You see, words straight out of these scriptures, man. Every time we were, you know, comforted, we were comforted by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is the true comforter. You see, so Maccabeus was telling them not to deal with swords and shields, but to listen to the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and following his good words. You see, it says, and besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not little rejoice them. Okay, point. You see, so we're not to be in that spirit of using our weapons, man, or using any type of weapon. The biggest weapon we have is this Bible, man. This is why we're the most dangerous men on earth right now. This is why Esau is pretty much yanking his damn hair out. Okay, I could picture Esau. He got some long ass hair, and he got like a whole bunch of bald spots everywhere from ripping out his damn hair, you know, because we're eating him alive just through scriptures alone. You see, this is why he's about to come down on you with great wrath. You ever seen when you talking to somebody that's wicked as hell, or he just a proudful ass nigga, and you know, there's that saying, people tell the truth and it hurts. When you tell the truth to somebody, that shit cuts them already. All right, as a matter of fact, here it goes. This scripture been coming out all week. This is Hebrews 4 and 12. Okay, and is all of the spirit. All right, for the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful. You see, that the word of Yahweh is that quick 2-piece to the face for real. You see, and it's powerful. All right, it's a powerful blow to your face, because people get offended when you bring out these scriptures, man. You see, and when you have patience in the Lord, as the Lord said, not to avenge yourselves, all right, because vengeance is his, you'll see how the Lord brings his vengeance, man. I done seen that before with my own eyes. People that have come up against the word of the Lord, people that, you know, came around my camp and disrespected me, and now they on fucking wheelchairs and shit. You see? And we're not going to boast ourselves in that and rejoice over it, because we're not supposed to rejoice over your enemy when he fall. But it'll remind us the Lord got us, you see? When I done seen somebody come to my camp and be disrespectful, but now they were standing at that time, but now they sitting on wheelchairs, man, we understand that the Lord is not playing. You see, the Lord is always around us, man. Okay. And sometimes, hey, sometimes we ain't even, I remember, I'll give you a quick testimony. I remember one time this one guy was talking so much shit on my live feed while I was on the highways and hedges, and he kept rapping in front of my damn live feed, you know, being funny as hell and just being a whole fucking demon, right? And it was crazy because I was telling him, yo, the Lord he gonna jack you up. You better stop that shit. He just kept making fun of it. Later on, I started around like 6 o'clock, and I ended up ending it around like maybe like 9. So when I first started, it was daytime. So he was doing this shit during the daytime, and then the night dropped. He ended up leaving, all right, through prayer, because in my head I was praying to the Lord to get his ass away from me, you know, and he did go away from me. But what was crazy was later on, it dropped in the night and he came back towards the end of the video. And it was crazy because my video actually, my phone died, but I just kept preaching the word. Since it died, I just kept going out there, you know what I'm saying? I kept bringing out the word and I didn't get to record it. But when he came back, and I remember the security guard was laughing at this shit at the bus station because he couldn't even believe it. He told me afterwards, he was like, bro, I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro. The Lord with you. And this guy came back, and him talking shit right earlier, he came back drunk. He came back real drunk. And then he came back trying to be that scoffer again on the camera and started trying to rap again. And bro, I said in my head, Lord, please make this nigga get out of here, bust his ass, do something. Somehow he walked across the street and he slipped dead on his face, yo, cracked his lip and everything, leaking and everything, bro. And I remember I was young in the spirit at that time, first coming into the truth. I was definitely throwing praises, you know what I'm saying? Not understanding that we're not supposed to rejoice over our enemy, you know? But this nigga bust his ass literally on his face, left with a whole bloody mouth and everything. And I was laughing at him. I was straight laughing at him, and everybody else around was laughing at him, you know? And that's the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You see, the Lord might not get his revenge then, you know, he might not do it later. All right. But at one point it's going to come. And a lot of these scoffers and shit like that, they are being saved for that day of judgment, man, you know, because they're so scofful and so wicked. You know, the Lord will let them live for a little while, man. But you're marking yourself for death. You see. You're marking yourself for something serious, a serious ass whooping that the Lord gonna give you, man. So at the end of the day, the Lord gonna come with it. You see? But back to Hebrews 4:12, it says, for the word of Yahweh is quick, that true two-piece, you see, and powerful. And that two-piece gonna come very powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, showing you that our weapons of warfare are not carnal. All right, that this word is sharper than an actual two-edged sword, because this is your sword. Okay, it tells you that in Ephesians. Let's grab that real quick. 6 and 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh. You see? So at the end of the day, this word is your true sword, man, and you just got to wing it on these niggas, man. All right? Just bring out this word, okay, and let the Lord do what he do, okay? It says, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, okay? It cuts you in your soul, all the way down to the bottom of your damn marrow in your bones, you see? That's why when we read the scriptures, we get cut ourselves. We sometimes will condemn ourselves because we're like, damn, the Lord just cut me. I was doing that wicked shit, you know? So how much more these people of the world that are not of the Lord, man? And that's what we're constantly fighting. Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. These niggas is demons. So we have to use our sword, that spiritual sword of words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, to ward off these demons, man. You know, we're giving them that true exorcism all day long. That's why when we preach the word, you know, arguments happen, you know. When Yahweh Shai was on the scene and prophets would bring out the word, riots would happen, you see, because we're cutting them demons inside of them, you see. And that's what pleases Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Remember, it's the foolishness of preaching that pleases the Lord, that pleases the angels up in heaven, you see, because this is entertainment to them. You see, it ain't entertainment for us, but it's entertainment to the angels. All right. The Lord literally sitting back eating the spiritual popcorn. All right. And just watching, like, look at my man. My man standing strong, tough, you see, through the word, you know. And I know it could get very tricky sometimes. Because sometimes you know, Satan really come at you hard, especially if you one that was maybe a hothead, you know, had a temper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know he does that with me. He tries to break my peace, you know, because I'm very hot-headed, you know. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, whenever I feel like that, you got to think of scriptures, man, and avoid these things, you know? So it can get difficult sometimes where, you know, you might want to jump out of line, you know, but we got to try our best not to, you know? Let's grab this. This is Proverbs 19 and 29. It says, judgments are prepared for scorners and strikes for the backs of fools, man. Plain and simple. You see? The Lord is not playing with none of these damn fucking scorners, man. None of these people that want to be scoffers. Matter of fact, let me grab that. That's Salakia. Come on. This is First Peter. I mean, Second Peter, Salakia. Second Peter 3 and 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. Okay. So we're prepared for these scoffers, man. As a matter of fact, let's go into that word scoffer just to see what it says in the blue letter. All right. A mocker, a scoffer. All right. Root word goes into to play with, trifle with. Yeah. Like Jake said, these niggas be trifling, you know, but yeah. You got scoffers that they come to play with the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see? It says to delude, to deceive. Yeah. To delude and to deceive you, man. To deceive you, all right, to make you to make you go out of character, you know, to make you go off, all right, and be blamed for the ministry. All right, which let's grab that again. All right. Hold on. Damn, I ain't got no water. I drank all my waters. Salakia though. Let me grab where was that? In Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, all right, 10 and 3. All right. So it says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, for the weapons of warfare of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds. Okay. It says we use Yahweh's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments. You see, he was having a whole argument with this damn brother. You see, well, I mean, Esau is our evil twin brother. All right. But he was having a whole argument, I'm sure. All right. If it was really something that was going down, you only saw a clip of that shit. You see, that's why I think it's even more of something that was set up, because the fact that the clip happened, stopped right after he just hit him. I want to know what happened after that. You see, if nothing happened after that, that was just meant to be on the camera for a reason, the way it was, man. You see, so this devil, you know, might have been paid for it. But if it was something real, there was an argument before that. You see, plain and simple. Okay. So, you know, that's how we bring down these false arguments. You know, that's how we bring down human reasoning, man, through the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see, we have to judge things through the spirit, man. So the right judgment through the spirit will be, nah, I ain't even about to hit this nigga right here, bro, because this is a bunch of Edomites around me. There's cameras, you know. That's the worst thing you could do. In today's society, bro, there is a fucking camera everywhere you look. Everything is digitalized, man. So us even being out in the world is already putting us in a bad predicament. You know, that's why I myself, me, my wife, we don't go nowhere. We ain't got no time for that shit, man, because it's shit. Scripture say what? Be circumspect, all right, redeeming the times because the days are evil. All right. So right now, everything is high level where they're always trying to put Jake at the forefront of something, especially you so-called black people, man. All right. You Judites, because the Judites be the worst. They be quick to, start some shit and not care about it. But see, that's why you're always on the front page of the damn newspaper. You're always at the front page of the news, you see? But here it is. Esau starts some shit. You ain't even hear about it, you know? So your best thing to do is sit your ass at home, man. Okay? Lock yourself in the house. Not saying you can't go out. All right. Yeah, you can have a little time with your wifey, or, you yourself. If you ain't got no wifey, you want to go out real quick and, walk around, get some fresh air, do a little something, but get your ass back home, man. You see? There's no need to be out there because we are in dangerous times. Okay? And Jake is a target right now. This is why that great persecution is coming upon us. You see? You see what's going on with these niggas in Chicago? They just took a whole video of them that they were talking about the Iranians, right? That if they came over here and they did some shit, they were basically going to help us and defend us. You see? But here comes Esau, took that shit and twisted that shit around, all right? Making it seem like they were trying to go after ICE. Now your black ass is a target. You see? That's why you don't be out there in the world, man. You know? That's right. Call on him like Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom. So it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh. And these niggas is against the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You see? None of them care about the Lord because they're out there butchering scriptures. They're out there deceiving the people, making them think that books in the scriptures are not legit, Do they call on the name of Yahweh? Yeah. Okay. Remember, these are sheep's, these are ravening wolves in sheep clothing, You're going to have niggas that know the name of the Lord, man, that know a lot of knowledge of the Bible, all right? And they sound like they somebody, all right? But what the scriptures tell you, man, if you think yourself to be somebody, you deceiving yourself, man. Okay? Matter of fact, let's grab that. For if a man think himself to be somebody, he deceive himself, KJV. Galatians 6:3, it says, for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, shit, we're nothing. Even us, when we're on these highways and hedges, all right, we're not looking for fucking vainglory, fame, or none of that. Okay, we're out here to do a job. We're out here to sacrifice our body in hopes that we get salvation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua as a prisoner of hope. I am nobody. I am no better than the 2/3 that you see walking around that don't have the truth. I'm just a messenger. You see, I have a job to do. I understood the mission and I'm following up on my mission, But these niggas is all about views, all about fucking, dealing with money, trying to get all this money accumulated by selling merchandise, making merchandise of the Lord's name, basically. You see, these niggas is wicked as hell. And that's why every fucking year you see some bullshit with one of these niggas. You just had, what's the other one? The one that was getting pegged up his ass. All right. He was over there just, look what he just got into. For all that pride he had, man. Whatever his name, what the hell is his name? Alakazam, Aladdin, whatever the fuck his name is, The Lord exposed that whole entire fucking Hebrew Israelite camp, showing you that they are not true Israelites, man. For they are not all Israel that are of Israel. Okay, it's plain and simple, And he gonna be next, man, because he's one of those that I always see him doing some extra shit. He always trying to drop music videos and he always showing videos with his guns and all this artillery that he has. None of that is going to get you into the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You're supposed to be waking our people up, okay? And not looking for vainglory from these people. See, they are those type of people that are there to please men instead of pleasing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? Matter of fact, let me grab this. Where's that at? I got the scripture in my head. Is how does it go? The outside of the cup, KJV. I forgot how it go. Yeah, here it go. The water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Yep, that's the one I wanted. All right, it says, let me grab it from, this is Matthew 23, and this is 23 and 11. It says, but he that is the greatest among you shall be your servant. All right. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. That's what this damn devil does. He exalts himself all the time, man. Like he's somebody, like he's someone special. You see? It says, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. You're supposed to humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, man. It says, but woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for penance make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, he make him twofold more child of hell than yourselves. This is the point I really wanted coming down, right? Hold on. Oh no, I really wanted to go down. Salakia, let me jump all the way down and get to the point. All right. It says 23, it says, woe unto 25, 24. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. You see, they look good on the outside. They look like Hebrew men. You see, they wearing their headbands. You know, they wearing the name of Yahweh across they chest. You know, they got a garment on, which they garments be you t-shirt ass garment niggas, man. That shit is wicked as hell, man. All right, go look up the I believe it was when they went to, I think his name was Hanan, and they cut off the guy, the people's beards. They made them cut their beards, and they cut their fringes, their garments. They cut them in half. And when they cut them in half, they had to hide away because it was a shame to them. Why? Because you ain't supposed to have a garment that look like a damn t-shirt, man. You know, and these niggas be walking around with t-shirts, all right, with fringes on. That shit is wicked as hell. And you shouldn't even be walking around the world and the outside of the world with any type of fringes on and making yourself more of a target. You know, you're supposed to have a whole entire garment that goes all the way to the bottom of your ankles, man. Just like Yahweh did, man. And there's a certain reason for that, man. It's to remind us, you know, to keep our law, statutes, and commandments, you know. It goes deeper than that, but still, you got these niggas walking around with half a garment on, you know. So that's why your ass is half-ass in this truth, you know. John 3 and 30. He must increase, but I must decrease. That's right. Exactly. So it says, thou blind Pharisees. Okay, let's go again. It says, you know what? Let me grab that in the blue letter. Matthew 23. 23 and 23. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law? That's what these guys is about too. Everything's about keeping the law, you know, but they can't even keep simple laws like that, you know. It says, and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are careful to tie even the tiniest income for your herb gardens. You see, that's what these devils is about. They're about making money, man. They doing it for filthy lucre's sake, man. It says, but you ignore the more important aspects of the law, justice, mercy, and faith. Whew. You could tie, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. Blind guides, you strain your water so you won't accidentally swallow a gnat, but you swallow a camel. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are filthy. You see? You got, man, that goes just not even for that. You got to watch who you be around, man. You can have a brother that has 100% truth, and deep down that nigga's a whole demon. You know, he can have 100% truth, calling on the name of the Lord, but he not charitable to his brother. You know, and that's how these devils are, man. Wicked as hell. Okay. It says, where was I? It says, hypocrites. So you are so careful to clean the outside of the cup, all right, because you want to make the appearance to look good upon these men of the world, all right, and you're trying to please the men of the world, all right, instead of pleasing Yahweh and the dish, but inside you are filthy, full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisees first wash the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside. You know, and that's something that when you actually doing your dishes, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to clean from the inside to the outside, not just clean the outside and you're done. It says, and then the outside will become clean. You see? It says, what sorrow awaits you, teachers in religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like whitewashed tombs, beautiful on the outside, but filled on the inside with dead people's bones and all sorts of impurity. You see? And that's what they are. All right. They full of dead man's bones because they have strayed the people from the truth, man. That's why you got a bunch of niggas following their ass, man. And that's why they have a big platform and they have the multitude of men following them, man. The Lord is not dealing with the multitude of men. Okay. What did he say? He said it's better to have Ecclesiasticus. It's better to have one believe than 1,000 KJV. I believe that's how it goes.
The statement is a paraphrase of
Nah. I don't want to hear that.
Verse 28.
I'm sorry,
King James
Susan.
Version, which says, "One man among 1,000 have I."
No, that's not what I wanted. There you go. This is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, 16 and 3. Trust not thy. Let me go into it. Whew. Let's take it from 1. Ecclesiasticus 16 and 1. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. You see? They got a multitude. You see? They got a lot of people, a big platform, man. But that multitude, all right, they're unprofitable children, man, because they're being taught by unprofitable men. You see? Neither delight in ungodly sons. Though they multiply, yeah, though you see a bunch of these niggas everywhere, all right, and they seem to be like these people that are of the Lord, all right, and it ain't just them. You got IUIC, you got these other damn camps, ISUPK, you got a whole bunch of bug out camps, man, all right, Wi-Fi, whatever, right? It says, though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. See, these people don't fear the Lord, man, because if you feared the Lord, you would have made better decisions, man. But you make carnal mistakes, and carnal results get you carnal rewards, all right? And your reward is going to be a foot in your ass. You see, it's gonna be Yahweh Bashim Yahushua possibly putting one of you niggas down. You see, putting your ass to death for messing around. Okay, every year these damn devils got something new. It says, trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000, and better is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. You see? So, man, you can't listen to these people, man. They'll get your ass put in a bad situation, man. So they are full of dead man's bones, because the blind lead the blind, all right? And they're going to both fall into a ditch. And what you're doing is you got a lot of blood in your hands because you know better. See, those are the men that are going to be beaten with many stripes. You know, those are going to be the type of men that when the time comes and Esau snatching people up, which he already doing it, you know, but it's going to get even worse when you get sent to these FEMA camps, when you get sent to prison, you're going to be the ones that get tortured in there, man. You're going to be the one that gets beaten with many stripes because you knew what you were supposed to do, but you got caught up in the lust of your things. You got enticed, all right, by whatever pleasures you wanted, and the Lord going to destroy you for that, man. You see? So, let me just finish. My bad. Finish this one up, all right? Because my phone about to die at 5%. All right, so this is 2 Corinthians 10:4 again. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself and casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, and having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. All right. So we don't need to get carnal with nobody, man, especially in these days, man. We're already doing a number by preaching his word, man. All right. We're literally giving Esau a spiritual ass whooping every single day. That's why everybody, all these damn nations, these Edomites are on edge right now, man. You know? So just let Yahweh Bashim Yahushua do what he's supposed to do, man. Okay? Avenge not yourselves, because vengeance is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's, man. All right? And let's just grab this. Second Corinthians 6. And 3. And it says, let me just grab it from the top. It says, we then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of God in vain. Okay? But he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Given no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. Okay? But in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh. So you're supposed to be setting an example onto our people, man. Just like how we have the elders, all right, of GMS, the apostles, all right, which have been, this is why we give them double honors, all right, because the work they have labored in for us have made it easier for us, all right. They did all the heavy lifting, okay, and they have been set to be great examples onto the young ones, you see. That's what you're supposed to be doing, showing the rest of these people, the rest of the world, all right, even these damn heathens, all right, how a man of the Lord is supposed to walk in, you see, how you're supposed to be a great example onto the rest of the world, man. Okay, so when they see us, let me grab that scripture and I'll end it with that. How's it go? For this nation is a great people, KJV. Yeah. The water Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, Deuteronomy 4. I'll take it from 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord Yahweh, your power, are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. You see, it don't matter where we at, man. Wherever you're at, you're supposed to, walk as a man of the Lord, man. Showing a great example onto our people and onto these damn heathens that don't know how to act, you see, and showing them why we are Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah's chosen people. Okay. It says, but behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. You see? That's why you have to act in a certain manner, man, and be that great example onto the rest of the house of Israel, man. You see? Because you want them to understand, damn, these men are men of understanding. These men know how to truly move, and again, we don't do it for any type of vainglory, all right? It's just what the Lord wanted us to do, man. It's going to speak for itself when you act accordingly, the way that the Lord wanted us to move in, man. So, hey, I hope you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Urchak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. The water for tuning in. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. The water for the precepts, brother. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Shalom.